Good posture plays such an important role in our daily lives, and we spend a lot of time sitting, whether it's sitting at our desks or sitting at our kids' games or sitting in the car. Sitting is said to be the new smoking, and if we have poor posture, it's going to affect us in a myriad of ways. Most importantly, we could be setting ourselves up to be in more pain throughout our day, because if we are in poor posture, we are now putting stress on our joints in a way that shouldn't be, right? So, hi. So it's very similar to, you could think of it like an overuse injury, because we are overusing the muscles in a way that they should not be used. So I want you to have a seat, bud. I want you to take note when you are sitting in your car or at your desk. How are you sitting? Where are those shoulders? Are they hunched over? Also, pay close attention to your head and your neck. Text neck, right, is a big issue, and that can lead to a lot of headaches. If you are sitting at your computer and your head is like this, that's placing a lot of extra stress on your joints and can create headaches. So that's why it's important to take note of your posture in all that you're doing, but especially while you're sitting. So let's first sit in our chair, find a chair, have a seat, and notice what happens with your pelvis, what happens with your shoulder, how does your core feel, are you slouching? Get that pelvis. So think of your pelvis as a bowl, and we want that bowl to be level. So if you notice that pelvis tips forward, you're going to create some extra stress on your low back, right? So get that pelvis so it's nice and neutral. Just a neutral pelvis so your bowl is level. Make sure that your feet are flat on the ground. So if you sit at your desk, and I am guilty of this, I love to sit crisscross applesauce in my chair, but that is really not good for you. So make sure your feet are flat on the ground. I've also noticed that they do sell little foot rests, so that you can place your feet on, which will help to keep you in better posture. So feet flat on the floor, a nice neutral pelvis. Where are those shoulders? Are they rounded and forward? Take them up, round them, and come on back down. Put them in the pockets, okay? Think of your shoulder blades as going in jean pockets. Put them in the pockets. There we go. Now, at first, this is going to feel very unnatural, because if you're used to just sitting like this, you're going to start to feel your core actually activate, which is great. Watch that head, okay? If it's slouched forward, again, remember that's putting extra stress up here on the neck. So, shoulders back and in the pockets, feet flat on the floor. Now, head nice and straight, okay? Keep that head as though you're going to balance that water jug, right? Balance that water jug. I also have 3 great exercises that you can go ahead and try, and I will place those next. So give them a try to help improve your posture. The other thing I want you to do, next time you're at the store and you're standing in line, take note of your posture when you're standing in line with that grocery cart. Make sure that if you're standing like this, again, just like when you were seated, get that pelvis. So it's not tilting back, not tilting forward, but it's nice and neutral. We want to try and hold that neutral position with that pelvis to release that pressure off the low back and help with better posture. All right. Try out these exercises. We're going to start with a side plank. So we're going to lay on our left side, making sure that that shoulder is stacked directly over the elbow. We don't want to place extra strain on that left shoulder. We'll do this on both sides. So when you're on the right side, again, do the same thing. Stack the shoulder over the elbow. We don't want to lean either way and create extra stress on that joint. Stacking those hips, making sure that that top hip is directly over, we could draw a line to the ground directly over the bottom hip. In this case, it's the right hip over the left hip. We don't want it falling forward, and we don't want it opening up. Bottom leg, which is the left leg for now, is going to be bent. Left or right leg directly right on top. And we're going to come on up, and we're going to hold this. Now, if you like, you can take the right leg and straighten it, or the most advanced would be to take those legs straight out and hold it here. We're going to hold that position for 30 seconds and then switch to the other side. doing each side for 30 seconds, 3 times per side. That's going to help to work on the side muscles of your abdominals along with your pelvic stabilizer, the glute medius. So we're working on those obliques and that pelvic stabilizer, which will help with that posture. Exercise number 2 is one of my favorite exercises. It is a glute bridge. It's one of my favorites. I call it the multitask exercise because not only does it help to strengthen your glutes, but it also helps to strengthen your abdominals. So it is an all-in-one exercise. Both of those need to be strengthened in order for proper posture. Feet go flat on the floor, knees go bent, legs go a little bit wider than hip width apart. Now, as soon as you get down, notice, here we are with that pelvis again. Where is that pelvis? Is there space here? Let's get it into neutral. So get that pelvis into neutral. Those feet go flat on the ground. We are going to press through the feet. Arms go to our sides, press through the feet, squeezing those glutes. As we press those feet into the ground, we can feel those glutes start to activate and we can feel that core start to tighten. We want to keep those shoulders relaxed and down, and we're going to go for 15 repetitions, nice and slow. When you come back down, don't come all the way back down. Kind of hover just a little bit above the ground and press back up. Come on back down. Making sure that you keep that tension in the muscle the entire time and you keep that pelvis nice and neutral. So it's not to round the back and create additional pressure on that low back. You'll go for 15 repetitions, rest about 15 to 30 seconds and do it again. We want 3 sets of 15 repetitions. Our final exercise is going to be the dead bug, which is going to work on that core stabilization. To do this, we'll go all the way down to our mat. We'll start with those feet flat so that way we can first get that spine nice and in line. We've got our pelvis nice and in neutral. And if we take a nice deep breath in, put your hands on your abdomen, take a nice deep breath in, blow it out. Feel that pressure that's in the core when you blow those birthday candles out. Hold that pressure there at about 50%, so you can still have a conversation, but you can feel that there's pressure there. Now we're going to lift the legs, bend at the knee, take those arms straight up, but leave the shoulders down. We're going to take the opposite arm and opposite leg. As we do this, we want that core to be stabilizing, and we want to pay attention to what happens with the pelvis. So when I take my right arm back and my left arm out, if I find that I have too much of a gap here, that creates a gap in between my low back and the ground, don't take your leg down as low, move it up. So you have the option of going here and then you pull it back in. Really feel that core doing the work. That's what's pulling back in. Imagine there is a string on the opposite elbow and opposite knee and they're pulling back together. Go for 10 reps per side for 3 sets. So 3 sets of 10 reps per side.